got?
Nothing. Nothing's happening.
We're gonna have to take it back apart. It must have torn loose and stuff.
Hi everyone, thanks for tuning in. I'm Sarah, and that's Ellis. We love to adventure in the great outdoors, and we have seen a lot of beautiful places over the last few years. We have hiked, camped, and splashed in some truly amazing places. We don't know where all we will get to visit in the future, but we want to continue adventuring, and we've decided to take you along with us. Our next adventure is the one I am most excited about yet. Meet our truck camper. We just bought this amazing 2002 Lance 815. It's in pretty good condition for its age, but it still needs some improvements and renovations here and there in order to become our perfect adventure rig. Follow along to see where our adventures take us next. Well, hi friends, happy weekend and welcome back to another video. This weekend we have several projects in the works, and I'm not 100% sure yet exactly what all projects we're going to get up to. I have several electrical projects to do, and I'd like to get all of them done this weekend if possible, because at this point they're pretty much the only thing standing between me and bringing the camper home. So I don't know if we'll have enough time, but I am going to try and get as many of these projects done as possible this weekend. As such, I did go ahead and get one of the projects completed yesterday after I got home from work, but we still have several to get done. We have electrical upgrades to make on the truck, on the camper, and on the house. I know saying I have a project to do on the house probably sounds a little bit off, but I promise it is for the camper. Oh, well. You'll see. Let's just go ahead and hop into these projects and see what all we can get accomplished this weekend. The first electrical upgrade we made this week was by far the most nerve-wracking. We had to cut a hole in the side of my new truck so that we could install the outlet for the camper plug to connect so that the brake lights, backup lights, and all of that would work on the camper. I am sparing you here about 45 minutes of us just checking, rechecking, and then checking again to make sure we were drilling the hole in the right spot. We were working on this project pretty late one evening after I got home from work and then went over to Dad's. It did get dark before we finished, but we were able to get a lot accomplished this one evening.
That was fun. Alright, we'll get underneath there and give it a look, see?
Cool.
I think I'm good. What's that? With my finger? Alright, good here.
project came the next morning, and it is the camper side of the equation in order to make the plug work. Apparently, Lance likes to put a proprietary plug on their campers that isn't compatible with a typical plug you would find on most trucks. And it can be expensive to buy the Lance plug outlet that goes in the truck bed. So that's definitely not what I did. I bought a regular outlet instead. This now means we have to replace the plug on the camper to be the compatible plug. We just cut off the old plug and attached the new one. This was a pretty slow process, to be honest, that included some trial and error in order to make sure we connected all the wires correctly so that when I applied the brakes, it doesn't make the, left turn signal come on the back of the camper instead, or just something like that. You get the idea. This was another hot morning, so we were definitely well motivated to finish as fast as we could. It all worked out in the end, and even though it took a few tries, it was a pretty easy swap to make.
That's the driver's. That's the running lights. It's the passenger. Back up.
I think we're right. Where's that one from?
The next project was replacing the 4-year-old truck battery. I haven't had any issues with it yet, but I wanted to be proactive since I plan to take the truck out camping in some pretty remote locations, and I would not want to be without a reliable battery in that situation. It was a pretty fast project, but it was definitely made more difficult than expected by the battery placement in this truck. The back end of the battery tucks in under the front of the truck, below the windshield essentially, so that it can't be lifted straight out. The battery has to be turned in a pretty tight space in order to come out, and going back in can be even more of a challenge, we found. It took several tries and a lot of wiggling, but it eventually dropped into place. Like many of my projects, this one definitely would not have been possible without my dad, so a big shout out to him. Thanks, Dad. Our final electrical project this weekend was setting up a 30 amp power box next to my house so that I can plug in the camper when I am here with it. This project took the longest by far. The breaker box is on the opposite side of the house from where my parking spot, or driveway I guess you could say, is located. Since this house is on pier and beam rather than a slab, we decided to feed a pipe under the house from the breaker box to where we wanted to place the outlet. This is a lot more work than it sounds like. One of us had to crawl under the house to redirect the pipe when it started running in the wrong direction. Once this was done, we got the box set up on both ends. The next step was feeding our wire through. The day we were doing this project was one of the hottest we've had this year so far. The heat index was easily around 105. The camera kept having to take breaks in the house to not overheat, and we took several breaks too. I'm glad we were able to get this project done now because the summer will only get hotter from here. Woo, that's sunshine. As such, I did already go ahead and do horsefly, as you were.
Hi, Mitz. Yeah. Where'd you go?
Right here.
Oh.
Stand in the shade.
Do I hear a puppy dog? Is that Miss Maggie? Miss Maggie. Hello. Hello, Miss Maggie. Oh, yeah. You got a big old snake chasing you.
Oops, I only got half of it.
Uh-oh. You broke the box, but how are we going to use it to move our fine china now?
Yeah, well, we'll see.